I'm so excited, you guys, because I just landed a full-time internship in New York City, you guys. Today is the day that I have been waiting for, not just myself, but a lot of doctoral psychology students across the nation. And today is the big day, you guys. Like, I don't know where to begin. It is awesome, you guys. Like, this is the day we've all been waiting for. I mean, this is a huge day. Today, for you guys who don't know, is match day. And today is the day that determines where we all will do our pre-doc internship. This is a final phase of our doctoral studies, you guys, in clinical psychology. It's like, when I first got the news this morning, I was so grateful. I was like so overwhelmed with joy, you guys. I'm still overwhelmed, and I like had to wait to this video because I could have did it earlier when I first got the news, but I had just woke up, and y'all don't need to see me like that when I first wake up, even though I'm still beautiful either way. But I just woke up and I was laying in my bed, you guys. So the thing is, with most of my colleagues, right, most of us, a good number of us, let's say, decided to not go to sleep last night. They were saying they're not going to go to sleep. They're going to just stay up and wait to hear their results, right? To wait to get their results this morning. And I, on the other hand, hi Eric, I, on the other hand, was like, nah, I'm not staying up all night. I need my beauty rest. And I actually celebrated in advance, kind of. Like, I wanted to kind of distract myself from all of this nervous energy leading up to today. So what I decided to do was participate in the Pan-African Film Festival, go to some of the films. I actually was at the comedy show last night at the J-Spot Comedy Club in Inglewood, and I had an awesome time. Thanks, Cousin Michael. Like, this is huge. So I went there last night because I wanted to just kind of do a pre-celebration, because I knew that I just had a good feeling that I would get matched, right? So, and also, like I said, I wanted to kind of distract myself away from, like, all of this energy, because so many, like, around me, right, my colleagues, my other classmates, my program administrators, everyone is just, like, was on edge, like, are you going to get matched? I hope you get matched. What if you don't get matched? What if you have to go to phase 2? So I'm going to break it down for you guys with the time I have in this video to kind of give you guys an overview of how this works, right, for you guys who are unaware. It's a long, drawn-out process. So it started in the summer for us at my school. It started in the summer of last year, where my program administrators had us prepare a little bit early, right? So we basically prepared our essays for the application, and the application is very extensive, you guys. Like, there's so many different factors that are included in this application for our pre-doc internship. So we have to calculate all of our hours that we gain as a psychology practicum student for the entire time we were in school as a doctoral student. That's one part. That took a whole day for me. Most students use this tracking system online. It's an app that they have that you can track your hours along the way. I didn't do that. I did the old-fashioned pen and paper way. So basically, I had to just go and set aside one day to just calculate all of my hours that I have gained across 3 different practicum placements that I worked at while I was out here in LA as a doctoral student. Thank you guys. Thanks Paula. Thanks Hosea. Like, I appreciate you guys' support. And that took a whole day. I went to Starbucks. I remember doing that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. And prior to the fall semester last year, which was in the summer, they had us writing our drafts of our essays, and we went through so many drafts of our essays. There are 4 essays that we have to submit as part of our application, right? 4 essays, okay? We had to do an autobiographical essay. We had to do a cultural diversity essay speaking to our awareness of the cultural diversity factors that impact clinical practice. We had to do our theoretical orientation essay, and we had to do our research essay to talk about our research focus, right? And so those were the 4 essays. On top of that, we had to submit our cover letters, which are pretty extensive, which highlights our like clinical background and what makes us a great candidate, right, to be interviewed. We had to also submit letters of recommendation. For most sites it was like 3 letters of recommendation. And we had to also submit like samples of our work. So samples of integrated psychological reports that we completed. It was a lot, you guys. So that was the application. And most applications were due on November 1st last year. So to get you guys, like, give you guys perspective on this whole timeline, y'all. The things that we've been going through leading up to this day, February 21st, 2020, you guys. It was a lot. And I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this, whether you are a doctoral student or not, you can relate. Like, when you're working towards something, you're putting in so much effort, and when you finally achieve it, it feels great, you guys. Like, I feel so good right now. So back in the fall semester of last year, most applications were due like November, right? I submitted my applications, and I have a little story about my applications, right? Because I did not submit that many applications, honestly, and my school recommends that we submit at least 15 applications. I did not submit 15, nowhere near 15, nowhere near 10, y'all. Like, I'm not even going to say the number on camera, but I did not submit that many applications. And so I got interviews. I got interviews, like I was surprised to see, and I did a video on when I got my interview offers. They came in 2 in a row in the same day. And something spoke to me when I got my interviews. Like, something inside of me said, you got this, Danielle. Like, no need to worry, you got this. And I normally have a sense of peace about myself anyway. Like, things are going to be okay, right? I got my interviews like a couple days after I submitted my application, and I was happy. You guys saw that video. I went to my interviews. I nailed it, y'all. When I say I stole the interview, I stole my interviews. Like, I'm like, if I've given an opportunity. If I'm given an opportunity, you guys, I am going to take it. I am going to snatch it up. So, make a long story short, because I do have to go to my class. This is my very last class of my doctoral program, my very last semester. So, not last day of class, but my last class that I'm taking. I have that at 9 a.m., so be mindful of the time. But you guys, so the interview, right? This is the thing. So I had 2 interviews. I had one in Pennsylvania and one in New York City. Now, we're talking about a numbers game here, because these internships are very highly competitive, right? So the one in New York City only had 3 positions open. 3 slots. 3. Open to doctoral students across the nation, right? And I get an interview. I show up, and I walk in, and there are 6 other people there. 6 other people, which makes me the 7th person. I look around, and of course, you guys know I'm always looking at racial demographics, right? And I look around, and I see that I am the only black person, not just black woman, but only black person there, you guys. So, you know, I get a little giddy feeling inside, like, oh gosh. But I've been through so much in my life that I know how to regulate my emotions, even when I'm feeling the most distressed. Like, I got this, right? So I'm encouraging myself. I'm doing positive self-talk, like all the things that we teach our clients to do when they are under stressful situations. Like, I am doing it. I'm implementing these skills, right? Positive self-talk, like, I got this. Just keep my confidence up. Like, if it's for me, it's for me. I got a smile on my face, good energy, right? And I go into, they call us back, all 7 of us, back into the room, right? First, we had a group interview. Y'all know I stole the show. Like, everybody's sitting around just, like, not knowing what to say. Not me. Like, yo, if I'm, like I say, if I'm going to fly all the way from California to New York City, Oh, best believe I am going to show up and show out. So that's exactly what I did, and I just basically communicated that I was very interested in this position. I stood out, and I knew when I saw the program director, and she laid eyes on me, like we made this connection, and I just something inside of me said like, Danielle, you got this. Like this is yours, and it was interesting because after the group interview, we had individual interviews with the supervisors, right? The psychologists that worked there. And they had 7 of us to interview. Now, granted, this site had 3 interview days. 3. This was the second day. So we were able to choose which interview day that we wanted to come in to do our interview. I chose the second day, but there were 3 total. So we're talking about, on average, I don't know how many applicants, I haven't looked at the statistics yet for this particular site to see how many applications were submitted. But, I mean, if 7 of us showed up on this day, just imagine, like, okay, the other 2 days, around about that same number. So this is a very competitive site, right? And when it was time to do our one-on-one interviews following the group interview, guess who was called back first? The supervisor came in the room and said, Danielle, come with me. And I was just like, I felt so honored. I felt so special because she could have called anybody else, but she called me first. So you know what that said to me? That said that she was very interested in me. And I was just like, thank you. I felt so good. So I got in the room, right? And I have this like glowing smile on my face. Like I'm just lit up. And I think my energy is contagious. I mean, energy, period, is contagious, right? But I know my energy is very contagious. So I'm in there and I'm smiling. I sit down at the desk. I'm smiling. Like, I'm glowing. And she started smiling back. And we were just reflecting these smiles with each other, right? And she looked at my application. She was just like, so, I got your application. I was just like, yes. Like, this is the day I've been waiting for. I'm so happy to have this opportunity to interview for this position. I really want this, right? Like I communicated that in many different ways, right? And she was like, yeah, I looked at your application. You see that I have much experience working with that population. Thanks, Carl. Thanks, Andrea. And thanks, Ozioma. Like, I am very thankful for you guys' support. And, like, just, I can tell, I can look at the way she was looking at me, and I can tell that she was very interested in me. It's kind of like a blind date. Like, you meet someone, right? You don't know. And you meet them in person, you can get a feel like if there's a vibe there's a connection, and I sensed that, and I was just like, okay. So that was the first interview, a one-on-one interview. There were 2. So after that, I had to do a second interview with another doctor there, and we didn't really have that many smiles exchanged. So I was inside. I was getting a little bit nervous, but I didn't show it. I was like, oh, okay. So she's a tough cookie, right? Because the first one, who is actually the program director who interviewed me, she was a little bit more warm, and the second lady was just like stone faced, like how New Yorkers are. So I was prepared, like I got this because I lived in New York before, so I know how New Yorkers are. You know, they have like this stone face, this kind of persona about them, right? This kind of facade, you know. So I get it, right? So I'm in there, and I had to, you know, adjust accordingly because it's all about matching the other person's energy, you know, right? Just kind of going with the flow, right? I did that. I felt like I nailed that interview. I think that I was a little bit stumped over a few questions I remember, but I was able to like recuperate. I was able to like repair that by me communicating that, you know what, I lived in New York before. I know what it is. A very interesting question, which most interviewers ask in a lot of interviews. So why should we hire you, right? What do you bring to the table? And y'all know, like, I'm a salesperson, so I sold myself. I'm just like, you know, I am a team player, which I think is a big, important quality because most psychology doctoral students who apply for internship, most of us, we have good training. Like, so that doesn't really saying that, oh, I have this amount of training, this amount of hours working with this population and this theoretical approach, like that's kind of redundant because most of us, we have been trained across the board equally in the same respect. So I wanted to say something that's like differentiated me and set me apart from most doctoral psychology students. So I was like, I'm a team player. Not everyone is a team player, and I think that's an important quality to bring to the table. I mentioned that, and above that, I said that I am a very flexible person. Like, I can adapt very quickly to any situation, which you have to rise to the occasion. I do that where I work at now. I work at a prison for the California Department of Corrections, and you have to be quick. You have to be flexible in how you respond to very different situations that pop up, because you go into the unit, you never know what's going to happen, right? You have to just be able to respond. You have to be open to taking on different tasks that you may haven't had planned in your day. So I mentioned that I'm just like, I'm here. I've lived in New York before, so I know what it's like to, take the train and just, how to get around, how I maneuver the city. Like, I nailed that interview, and I felt really good when I left. I made a video after the interview when I left, and I felt great. So, fast forward to today, because this interview happened in January, you guys, in mid-January. Fast forward to today. Well, before today, actually, we had to obviously submit our ranking list. So this is across the board. This is not just my school. This is every doctoral student in psychology who applied for internship. We had to submit our ranking list, right? For me, it was like very simple. It was very easy. I wanted to make it very easy. Like I said, I did not apply to that many sites. I interviewed at 2 sites, and my top choice obviously was New York. Like, I have been talking for the longest, you guys know this, that I want to go back to New York. So that was just a no-brainer. I submitted my ranking list, and I felt really good about it. But I think some of the doubt that creeped into my subconscious mind came from other people, like some people in my program, like I think they were trying to be somewhat realistic and going based on statistics and, previous statistics relating to previous cohorts at my school. And I was like, I get it, but I also have a good feeling inside. Like, I think I know what I'm doing, right? I know what I'm doing. I know this is chess and not checkers. And so I submitted my ranking list. I felt good about it. And boom, we just had to wait for today, February 21st, notification day. So last night, as I said at the beginning of this video, a lot of my colleagues decided to stay up. They had already talked about it, saying that they were going to stay up. They're not going to get any sleep. I, on the other hand, was like, I'm getting some rest. Forget that. Because I feel like staying up, whether you stay up or not, that's not going to dictate the outcome. That's not going to dictate whether you get matched or not. So I can't control that, Like, once we did our interviews, we submitted our ranking list. It's really up to the universe to decide, It's very competitive. Sites rank us as well. So the applicants, we rank the sites, and the sites rank us. The rankings are put into this system that has an algorithm, and they do this number crunch, and boom, they come up with all these results. And we're talking about over 1,000 psychology doctoral students who are part of this, like thousands. I don't know the exact number, but I know that it is like over 1,000 psychology doctoral students who participated in this match this year. And so it's a lot that goes into it. And so I'm thinking like, okay, I did my part, I did my best, now it's up to the universe. So I went out last night. I went to the J Spot. I had a great time at the Comedy Club. It was part of the Pan-African Film Festival. Great time. I got my good rest. So I'm well rested. I have obviously a lot of energy, so much energy to the point where I'm like, you know what, I gotta go out tonight. I am dressed because I am going to celebrate. I'm going to one of the films. I'm going to see one of the films at the Pan-African Film Festival following my class, and I am just going to turn up. Like, I have to do something with all this energy. So I wake up today at, thank you, Stacy. I wake up today at 6 a.m., which is a little bit earlier than what I would normally wake up, because I normally wake up about 7:30. But my body, my spirit, whatever, the universe woke me up at 6:10 a.m. to be exact. And I look over at my phone, and I was like, okay, in my mind, this is my process. I'm like, pick it up, just check. Because I know they had told us that the match results will not be released until 10 Well, okay, let me make this sure. Make this correct, right? I think they said it was going to be 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is 7 a.m. our time, West Coast time, right? Pacific Standard Time. So I'm like, they're not posted yet. They can't be posted because they told us 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that will be 7 a.m. our time because I'm on West Coast. I'm in LA. But it was 6:10 when I woke up, so I'm like, check it. And then something told me like, nah, don't check it. It's not posted yet, right? So I think I put my phone down. Then I'm like, no, I picked my phone back up. I was like, might as well just check it, right? Thanks, Virginia. Might as well just check it. Like, fuck it. Maybe they posted it early, right? Y'all, when I say I went on my phone and I opened my email, and the only thing that mattered to me was match result. And I opened my email and I saw the email that had already been sent. I'm like, wow, it is there already in my inbox, match result. So I click on it, and I remember what I was thinking before today came. I was thinking that this is what's going to happen. I'm going to open it and my heart is going to drop. But you guys, my heart didn't drop. I was so surprised that my heart did not drop. When I clicked it, I opened it, and before I even scrolled down, I just looked at what was there. I looked at the words that were there. And what stood out the most was congratulations in bold baby blue letters. And I'm just like, okay, that's a good sign. At least it says congratulations, because the alternative would be, well, sorry to inform you, unfortunately, you didn't get matched, so you have to participate in phase 2. So there's phase 1 of the match, which we all apply for. And then there's phase 2 if you do not get matched in phase 1. And then there's post-vacancy match. So there are many different opportunities to land an internship, but everyone wants to land one in phase 1, so you can be done and over with it, right? So I saw the congratulations. I'm like, okay, well, at least I got matched, right? But what's the most important part is, beyond that, is seeing where did I get matched. So I'm scrolling slowly, y'all, and I just saw New York City, and I just like, I was like, yes. And I closed my email. That's all what mattered. I closed my email, and I was just like, yes, you guys. I was so happy. Y'all don't understand. Now that that's a confirmation that I have been matched at my top #1 choice that I ranked, which is in New York City, at a site with a population that I feel very passionate about. I feel great. I'll be working in Manhattan, right there in the dead center of New York City, you guys. I'm like, this is a big weight off my shoulder now. Now that I know that I'm going to be in New York and not have to go to phase 2 or have to end up somewhere else. Because, I mean, Pennsylvania wouldn't have been bad necessarily. I also felt really good about that site, too. I really liked the supervisors. Like, we bonded and everything. We laughed in the interview. It was good, right? But y'all know how bad I want to be back in New York City. So I felt good. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. But I do want to say thank you guys. Thank you, Sharon. Thank everyone for your support. Like, there has been I've received so much support through this process. It is amazing. I am very thankful. I don't even know where to start first with giving my support. But there are some people that I do want to shout out. I want to shout out my chairperson. Like, she has been a big support, just not for this process, but throughout my entire time here in the program. She was my academic advisor initially, then she became my dissertation chairperson. We have a good relationship. Like, she's like my big sister in a way. I feel like she's like my big sister. So she looks out for me, and she got the information. I'm like, how did she get the information? So I checked my email again after checking it for the match result, and I checked my email, and I saw that she had emailed me and saying congratulations. I'm like, how does she know? Because I did not tell her, but obviously she possibly has access to the match results. So I was just like, okay, like I feel so good. So I appreciate her support. I appreciate my current supervisors at the prison where I work. Like, y'all are amazing, especially my male supervisor. I can't release any names, but I really appreciate his support. He's like very comical person, and I remember I worked this week Tuesday and Wednesday, and I think on Wednesday, which is my last day for this week, he was like, let me know. He's like, good luck on your match. He's like, let me know. Oh my, I'm getting so many messages. I don't know who these people are who is messaging me. Maybe they're watching my video. Friends are watching my video and they're messaging me saying congratulations. But all these New York numbers are messaging me. But yeah, so he was like, good luck on your match, and wherever you match, just send an email and let me know. So I'm just like, I like that he was speaking into existence, right? But there was some times where he was making jokes and he was like, oh, so if you don't get matched, it's not the end of the world. You can go to phase 2, and this is the process, and right? And I'm just like, yo, I ain't even think about phase 2. I'm like, I am focused on phase 1. I am going to get matched to phase 1, right? And he was like making a joke saying that he's going to recommend his other students to do what I did. Because I applied to very, very few sites. And he made a joke about it. He was like, I'm just going to tell everybody just to apply to the number of sites you applied to, and they're going to get matched. I was like, everybody can't do that. I did it, right? And unfortunately, my program is not too happy with me doing that. So it's a whole nother story. But I am happy that I did it. I feel like I made the right choice, obviously. For me, it was a seamless process, a seamless decision. Like, it's done, y'all. It's done. It's done because it is a legally binding contract now. So once we get our match results from the system, it serves as a legally binding contract between us and that site. We have a contract with them. That is where we're going to be. We can't back out. If we try to back out of our match, then we will never, ever, ever in our lifetime be able to go through the match process again, which means we won't be able to get a pre-doc, APA accredited internship. Like, that would be stupid because that's important for licensure. So it's a decision that we know that we are confident about and we feel secure with and we're happy with, and this is what it is, and that's where I'm going to be. I feel good. I hope that my other colleagues got matched where they wanted to be, but if not, I mean, there is phase 2, and phase 2 is not the end of the world. I even said before all of this, when I was getting my application materials and documents together, I said that, you know what, it's not the end of the world. Like, I am that kind of person. Like, I'm always wishing and hoping for the best, obviously, but I set my mind to prepare for any outcome. So I was like, you know what, like, I'll go to phase 2 if I have to go to phase 2, but thank God I don't. So thank you guys for tuning in. Other people who have been supportive, I have another supervisor, a female, who works at the prison with me, and she is very supportive too. Like, she was just giving me so much support. She's always checking and asking me, how's things going, good luck, and I'm just can't wait to share the great news. Like, y'all, I'm just so happy. And they're supposed to, like, so when we get matched, our supervisors, our future supervisors, are supposed to contact us via a phone call, to just, I guess, congratulate us. But I have class, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to take the phone call or not, but I will be in contact with my future supervisor. I'm just so happy. Like, I was doing my dance this morning, y'all. I was getting down, like, hey. But there have been, like, outside of my supervisors, my dissertation chair, there have been so many people who have supported me, not to mention my African friends in New York City. I've stayed with them at their apartments. They've been very supportive in words and action, just offering their, support for me. So, like, I just feel grateful for all of this. Like, I've just had so much support. I talked to my mom. Her birthday just passed on February 10th, and she was wishing me the best, and just, I'm grateful, you guys. I am very grateful. Thanks to the universe. Godspeed ahead. I will catch you guys later. Love you guys.